my world free. You set my world free. You set my world free. You set my world free. Yeah. Nothing can compare to. I set myself free. Nothing can compare to. Yeah. I found you in the YPG. You set my world free. I found you in the YPG. I found you in the YPG. You set my world free. I found you in the YPG. You set my world free, nothing can compare to this. You set my world free. Yeah, I set myself free, nothing can compare to this. I set myself free. Say I will not doubt myself, and I'll believe in myself in the YPG as I level up with every move. We'll take it to another level, another level, another. We're going to another level, another level, another level, another. I've been down before. Feel like a whole world just wants my phone. I've been trapped by what they see me for, but now I'm free, free to go. We'll take it to another level, another level, another level, another level, another. We're going to another level, another level, another level, another level, another level, another level, another. You set my world free, nothing can compare to this. You set my world free. Yeah, I set myself free, nothing can compare to this. I set myself free. Say I will not doubt myself, and I'll believe in myself in the YPG as I level up with every move.
The show that's your portal to good vibes, laughter, and invaluable life lessons. How's everyone doing, Vibe Tribe? We've curated an extraordinary experience for you today. From wisdom-packed moments to captivating interviews, grab your favorite snacks, get comfortable, and let's embark on a journey of positive vibes together. We're unraveling essential life lessons, sharing stories that resonate, and who knows, there might be a surprise or two that'll leave you inspired. You know what time it is? It's time to take off. Buckle up, Vibe Tribe, because the Vibe O'Clock starts now.
my mic. Sorry guys. Hold up. Hold up. I made a bit of a mess here. Forgot to connect one thing. Hold up. I'm gonna be right back.
In 2023, Made for More rocked the house with success. But in 2024, get ready for something even bigger and better. Brace yourselves for the Mega Help Event 2024, where the energy is cranked up with a mega dance-off, thunderous war cries, fierce competitions involving over 24 schools, and an art gallery showcasing the immense talent of visual artists. Dive into a world of possibilities with career guidance from seasoned experts and college professionals. Need a buddy to chat about life's highs and lows? Our volunteers are ready to support and guide you in the Vent Corner. Now mark your calendars for the 24th of February at 10 a.m. and join us at 24456 Imnik Drive, Zone 6, Deep Kloof in Soweto. Not in Josie? No sweat. Mega Help Event is making its way to you, with simultaneous events at every provincial YPG branch across Mzansi. Your entrance is absolutely damage-free. For more details, hit us up on our toll-free line or check our pages on YPG RSA. Mega Help Event 2024. It's time to take off.
Oh yes, it is time to take off, and I'm pretty sure now you guys can hear me clearly. I literally forgot to connect the cable that connects to the computer from the microphone. And then now obviously the little bit of sound you guys heard was from the computer mic, which is not the best. But you know, you are connected with the Viber clock, and here we don't disappoint. Might be a glitch or two, might be an issue or two, but that's not going to stop us from bringing the true vibes. As you know, this is the Viber clock. Today, what is the topic? I don't know if you guys are going to be the one to try to guess today's topic, because that's basically the question we were posing earlier on today for you guys to. Whoopsie! Now my mic just fell. Hold up. There we go. Now you guys are going to hear me even clearer. What I was saying is that, what do you think we're going to be talking about today in the Viber clock? I mean, if you saw the poster which we had up here, there were many words. You might find the clue there or not. But I want you guys to tell me, what do you think today's topic is about? I mean, there is an array of different subjects and topics which we could cover here today on the Viber clock. Today, I want to leave it up to you guys to come and guess and figure out, what do you think the topic is going to be? I want to check it out. I'm looking here. Let me just move a little bit the computer so that I can, yeah, I got the everything even better. Okay, now you guys see on that edge there, it's the computer, but now it's good. So I want you guys to try to figure out what do you think we're going to cover today? What is it that you think, you know, Tembelihle says Valentine's Day. It's obvious. Wow, that is a good reminder that we completely forgot. I think we're so focused, at least I am, and those who are together with me working in the preps of the event, our mind is 100%. February is like talking about the MH24, the Mega Help 24th of February 2024 event. That's the only thing that I can actually put in my mind, have in my mind. Valentine's Day, wow, I even forgot that Valentine's Day it's in February. Thank you, Tembelihle, for reminding me. But that's not the topic, guys. That's not today's topic. It's not that obvious. It's actually not that obvious. Any other guess? Any other guess? Let me check here in the comment section if we have another guess. Portia says, I think today's topic is experiment. Experiment. Look, Look. Depending on the perspective you look at it, you're actually not too far. You're actually not too far. You're actually not very far off. I could give you a clue using experiment, but I'm going to experiment with you guys. Smusisa says the topic today is about help. Well, I think we always talk about help. I think we always talk about somehow the work of the Vibe O'Clock, in spite of the vibes, is about helping, but that's not necessarily the one. Zandile says moving on from the past. That's a very good one, but that's not quite the one. It's a very, 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 very good guess, but it's not quite the one. Nandi says, I think the topic is mega. Okay. It's a mega topic, but not necessarily mega in that sense. Matlatse says, my guess is past experiences and how they affect our future. Not exactly, Matlatse, not exactly. Similar to, not Nandi's guess, somebody else just before, Zandile, where she said it's about the past. Karabo, curiosity, that's also not too far. I'm going to give you the second clue right now. The first clue was based on someone who said experiment. The other one is this one, curiosity. It has something to do with curiosity. You might, when I do reveal the topic, you might say, PJ, that's not curiosity, but that's not, far in the sense that in the connotation of this, we're not too far from what curiosity can do. Sanelisiwe, she says assertion. No, not exactly. Ribone says an airplane is involved. It is? Not too sure. Maybe because she's seeing all the rocket ships going, but that's just, time to take off. Not necessarily. Oh yes, I love the way you guys are so curious right now, and I love creating suspense. I love that suspense when you guys are just guessing and wondering, what is the topic? Subusisa says, one more try, it's about FOMO. No, it's not FOMO, but if you are going to miss out the Mega Help event this year, you will indeed be suffering with FOMO. You will indeed be suffering with FOMO. Sorry, guys, that's my phone ringing. Let me see. Titos. Shout out, Titos. Long time no see, Titos. Good to hear from you. Titos says, I think the topic is about personality. Is it Look, let me say, if somebody lacks a strong personality, today's topic will make a huge difference in their life, or is making a huge difference in their lives. Cindy says the topic is about be positive in life. Not necessarily, Cindy. We always talk about being positive. It's not necessarily the one. We're always, we're always positive, trying to, yes, of course, be positive, but in a different way. Kalipile says, let us discuss about friendship. Friendship is a very good subject, a very good topic. Not today's one, but we will actually discuss it. Tumelo says, topic is all about love. No, it's not about love. Very good attempt, but it's not. Of which, by the way, shortly, Lebohang and Oratile, who were with us last week, but unfortunately they had network issues. They cut. I invited them. I promised that they would come back today. What was the question I asked that got us disconnected? I don't remember. I know that I asked a question, and apparently that question is what got us disconnected. Can you guys remember it? Do you guys remember it? Please help me. Keletso says, hypothesis, a proposed solution to a problem. Wow, big words. Taking us back to physical sciences. I think it's about researching before doing things or learning from others' experiences. Listen, Portia. I think Portia was very close the first time. She gave, I think it was you who said experiment. Researching the first part there, you're very close. You are very close. I like it. I am going to go for a short break. And when I come back, just to give you guys enough time to think and type, and I can read here and see if I find a correct answer. I don't think you guys are going to get it spot on, but I have a little game which I'm going to play with you guys when we come back. I have a little game which I want you guys to be ready for. When I go, I want you guys to make sure that you connect your friends, that you connect all those who are missing, who are going to suffer with FOMO of not being in the Vibe O'Clock. All right? We're going to be right back. Don't move. It's going to be short, very short. When we come back, we carry on. What is today's subject?
We'll be back in a flash with more laughter, listens, and surprises. Stay tuned, stay groovy. It's Vibe O'Clock.
In 2023, Made for More rocked the house with success. But in 2024, get ready for something even bigger and better. Brace yourselves for the Mega Help Event 2024, where the energy is cranked up with a mega dance-off, thunderous war cries, fierce competitions involving over 24 schools, and an art gallery showcasing the immense talent of visual artists. Dive into a world of possibilities with career guidance from seasoned experts and college professionals. Need a buddy to chat about life's highs and lows? Our volunteers are ready to support and guide you in the Vent Corner. Now mark your calendars for the 24th of February at 10 a.m. and join us at 24456 Imnik Drive, Zone 6, Deep Kloof in Soweto. Not in Josie? No sweat. Mega Help Event is making its way to you, with simultaneous events at every provincial YPG branch across Mzansi. Your entrance is absolutely damage-free. For more details, hit us up on our toll-free line or check our pages on YPG RSA. Mega Help Event 2024. It's time to take off.
I really love this promo, and I think you guys do too. And you're going to hear more of it everywhere. And I hope you guys downloaded it, got it, and you guys are using it and spreading it everywhere. I'm going to talk more about that towards the end. I'm going here and reading about what you guys think. Betty says maybe character and knowledge. Knowledge, a bit of it. Character, not necessarily. Lumka says validation, not necessarily validation. That's something, guys, think out the box, not the common things which we often speak about. Or maybe giving new things a try, but being careful. Maybe, in a different perspective. You're not too far. Maria says identity. No, Maria, not necessarily identity, not necessarily. Dumi says topic is all about time to take off, but to change how to project what we think of in our daily lives. Wow. You went really far in, Dumi, but no, that's not the one. Chanel says, I think it's about being prepared. Not necessarily. Lerato says, today's topic is about trying new things. Guys, connect the dots there, and you might be able to get it. Carlos says P plan, D do, check, C check, A act, adjust. Thank you for the tip, Carlos, but that's not the one. Sibusiso says, what about exploring? Look, Sibusiso, I'm going to say something. It does have something to do with exploring. It's not too far. Katlejo says, learning from mistakes of others so that you don't repeat. Guys, we've spoken about that. Ongeziwe says today's topic has something to do with the future since it's unpredictable. Hi, Andiazi PJ. It has about the future, the present, the past. It's a bit of everything. Pearl says testing the waters. I want to get you guys real tired, but before that, I'm going to start the game, which I promised. Amahle says, I think today's topic is about guidances and putting the past behind and letting go. We've spoken about that in different ways, but we have. And Lerato Mofokeng says, hobbies? Nah, it's not hobbies, Lerato, not hobbies. Let's go to this game. I want to test your guys' skills here. Let's go for this here. You guys see right now an obstacle, I was about to say obstacle illusion. An optical illusion, which I think we all see a bunch of horses, right? Let me try to, wow, interesting. I hadn't noticed that lizard there. At the bottom left there, there's a lizard. But there are lots of horses. Some are in the purplish kind of color. The top ones are in that kind of violetish kind of colors. At the top, we can see others there, which are like kind of like ghosts or something. And the center mass where, you know, there is the goldish kind of looking horse or stallion, whichever way you want to call it. Spusisa says, be like a stallion. So I want to ask you what you see. Tell me, what exactly do you see? Let's put our brains here to work, right? What do you see? Oh, wow. Chanel has already counted. She says 18 horses. Let me count with you guys. Hold up. Let me also put my camera in shot here so that we can work this out together, guys. Let's work on this together. I just hope that it won't like disturb or anything. There we go. Okay. So we got 1, 2, let me count these ones first. Is it my, okay, got 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then with the golds, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't see the 18th. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 18 would be, 18 would be, yeah, the big one. Because if you look at the golden horses, if you look at it properly, the whole thing makes these yellowish or goldish kind of horses, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 horses here in the middle here, they form one horse. Right at the middle, it's like you see the eye, which I think is the ear of one. Now, there's a huge ear, I don't know, but maybe there's a lump in his ear or something. But it's interesting. And now Portia, you're doing great. I like the way you are thinking, Portia. Because Portia says, assumption, making things, let me put her comment here. Assumption, making things to be true without any proof or research. You're very close, Portia. You are very, but very close. And in one word, I think assumption would be the most accurate. Others see something different. Ntombi Zodwa says, I see a mountain. That's an interesting way of saying it. Ntombi Zodwa sees a mountain. Sonto says today's topic is about breaking obstacles, I think. This is an obstacle we need to break, but that's not specifically, everything. Spusisa says some horses are looking forward and 2 are distracted. Wow. This is interesting. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Slindiwe says, I see 1 big gold horse which consists of 7 horses. Okay, that's the one I was also talking about. Portia sees as well the lizard. I saw the lizard. Refilwe also says she sees it facing the opposite end. Ribaone says horses of different shades near the clouds. Other horses are golden, others are gray. Is it gray or is it purple or violet? I don't know, guys. What's going on here? So I want you to stop and analyze this here. Ribaone taking a guess. Oh, sorry, Ribone. Ribone says, Today's topic is about exploring new or different insights. Also quite close, Ribone. I'm giving the clues there. The clues based on what you guys see. Buhle, very good guess. She says perception, similar to what Amahle says perspective. Dumelo says, I think there are 18 horses. I also counted pretty much 18. I'm going to bring another picture for you guys to see. And let's do the same thing. Let's do the same thing here. Do you see a lion, a cat, or a rat? What do you see? This one's a bit freaky. I didn't like this image. I didn't like it. It's kind of, it's a bit gloomy or something. Let me move it to the left so I can bring my screen in here and we can discuss this together. What do you see here, guys? What do you see here? What do you see here? So there's the horse, there's a cat, and there's a rat. What do you see? I see that. I see that. What do you guys see? Because interesting, in my perspective, what I see is a rat that is fierce, a cat that looks confused, and a lion that is indifferent. What do you see? Wow, Nobusha says she sees a dog. I see a dog, honestly. Whew. I don't see a dog. But hey, that's how you see it. Okay. Tepang says, I see a fox. Wow. Luniko says, I see a person with many faces. A person with many faces. Interesting. Rebecca says, I see a rat. Rebecca sees a rat. Ntombi Zodwa says, what is wrong with that rat? It's a good question. That rat is fierce. It is fierce. Minoria says, a lion cat. Okay, a lion cat. A lion cat rat. I don't know. Maria, well said. Maria Lopez says, wolf in sheep's clothing. Topic? No, Maria, now you've got it a bit off topic. Let's go back to the clues. Wow, this is interesting. Sandra says, I see an owl. Wow. Okay, maybe, well, owls don't have these vicious eyes of the lion. This is so interesting, guys. Junior says, lion rabbit. Wow. Guys, interesting. I thought what I was seeing, and I'm sharing with you guys based on what I see, honestly speaking. I don't think there's any perfect answer to this, but that was based on what I see. Butle says, I see more than one animal, but it can be just one animal with a nose of a shape of an animal. I've got one more picture, and we're going to cut into what we got to cut in. We're going to get to business, right? One more picture. Don't be mad at me, guys. It's the torture is about to end, and I will finally share with you guys the topic of today, which makes all the difference. Hence the reason why I'm creating the suspense here. What do you see here? Tell me, what do you see here? Let's analyze this together. So obviously, I see like a bald man and his hair in that tunnel, right? In that arc. I see a bald man, of which his nose is like what's behind. I don't know if this guy's wearing a backpack or something, because obviously, oh my goodness, yeah. So the back of his head is like a 3D of the tunnel. And then that's his hair going on here, which just looks like grass if you look at it differently. And then there's a man who's facing the lady who's walking with bags. Oof, this one's a bit complicated, guys. And The only thing we're looking at is this part of the picture. We're not looking at anything. Kulegani says, I see a dead dog. Okay, but besides the dead dog, I mean, there's a sparrow or a raven at the top there. And I'm focused here on what's going on in the middle. Yeah, offense, a nose backpack. Yeah, a nose backpack. Yeah, something like that. I see birds making up a face. Oh, wow, I did not think of that. It kind of does look like a sad face. My goodness, you are a genius. You have an amazing attention or detail, attention to detail. Wow, that I did not think of it that way, really. The just behind that bird, correct me if I'm wrong, and I see another face now on the right side, the opposite end. So there's the bird on this side, and on the opposite end, it looks like a face there being formed. Wow, this is superb. The shadow makes a heart. I did not notice that. Yeah, the shadow kind of does make a heart. My goodness, guys, you are simply amazing. I like what I see. I don't even know which ones to read. I'm just going. The dog is the hand of the man. I don't see that. I don't see that, Nobushe. I'm looking for it. Wow. Masefako says Abraham Lincoln without a hat. I don't know if it's Abraham Lincoln, but yeah. Lisa says, I see three people. She sees three people. Offensive says, close your eyes half and you'll see two people facing each other. And there's a picture of a bearded man behind them. There's also a dead dog. That's true. When you squint, kind of, you do see that. I do see that. I think that everybody has. But the other details, like that thing, it does look like a face. Those birds kind of do make up a face there. The dead dog, I don't know what's the abstract going on there. The heart shadow, look, I'm not going to argue against that. And the face on that other part. Tasha says, oh yeah, love walk. No. That's not today's topic. Kamu says a lot in one. There is indeed a lot in one. Pray says there's a woman's face at the top right of the arch. Exactly. I saw that too, Dumiso. I saw that as well. Human head with two individuals looking at each other with bags. Yeah, that I think almost everybody got. Carlos, I like what you're saying. I fully agree with you. Who said the dog is dead though? Dogs do that when they're taking a power nap. You are spot on. I got it wrong and many of us got it wrong when we said the dead dog. Who said the dog is dead? Everything kind of makes sense except for the man and the woman. That for me here behind the other guy, it's weird. And it's like he's got long hair which forms the eyebrows, really thick eyebrows or eyelashes. Yeah, I think there would be eyebrows of the man, although I think it's too close to his nose. It could be. I don't know, guys. Come to think of it. I see the head of the old man. The dog is a man's hand on his chest. Okay, that's a way to put it, guys. That is an interesting way to put it. We are going to talk about everything now. Enough of suspense. Enough of optical illusions. I want to say something that's very, very simple. And it is an immense mistake and flaw which all of us human beings, or most of us human beings, commit. When we commit it deliberately, it's not a mistake. We generally commit it unwillingly, unknowingly. But when it does happen willingly, it is something that you need to figure out and work on. For example, everybody has, I could say, a bad day. Everybody has a day in which they're not in the best of moods. And on that specific day, you might meet up with that person and not have the best of experiences with that person. Have you ever stopped to think about how oftentimes we assume things without actually getting into details about it? I mean, I put that picture here and you guys began to think. I never gave it away. I never gave you an answer. I never said what is right, what is wrong. I simply left it with you guys and said, feel free. And I was open to hearing what you guys had to say. You were open to my thoughts. And everybody saw a different thing here. But unfortunately, that's not always what we do in life. Unfortunately, that's not always what we do when dealing with people. In general, how many times do we treat people in a certain way because we just see things superficially, we just see things at the top, at the surface of things, and we draw conclusions, we jump into conclusions. And ironically, what I want to speak today is not just assumptions. Assumptions was very close. But what I actually want to talk about is when we run into conclusions too quickly, jump into conclusions too quickly. Run and jump, synonymous in this case, because we will take decisions based on what we think at that moment without analyzing anything. What was right? What was wrong? I don't know. I was right somewhere. You guys were right. You saw certain things which you saw. I saw certain things which you didn't see. And that's how life is. And that's what makes us human beings such interesting creatures, because we all have the capacity of thinking and seeing things in different forms, in different ways. What is it in your life that you need to change, where you just draw into conclusions, jump into conclusions, draw your own conclusions because of what somebody randomly gave you? How many times in your life, I've done this oftentimes, and I made it a rule in my life that no matter how close I am to someone, I will never, ever make an assumption of someone's character based on somebody else's experience. Because I have friends, for example. I have friends who get along with people I don't get along. My perception of that other person might be a bit, when I say don't get along, I'm not talking about enmity, but I'm just saying that person's not the kind of person that I can say is my best friend, or the kind of person we're going to, let's hang around and let's go out. I respect the person. I should respect everybody. But I'm not going to draw my conclusions based on what my friends say because that person is amazing. That's how you see the person. The opposite of it is also true. How many times somebody will tell you something negative about someone and you will not open up to that someone because you think, what my friend said to me, he or she is not wrong. Be careful with that. It is a gift for us to stop, analyze, and think. There is a powerful biblical verse. If I'm not mistaken, it is in Peter. If somebody can quote it at the comment section, in the comment section, it will help. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. It was between Peter and Paul who wrote it, but I'm pretty sure it's Peter, who said we should be slow to speak and fast to listen. Somewhere along those lines. So when we speak, we are opening our mouth to express what is in our minds and in our hearts. When we listen, we are accepting the information and analyzing. We are, analyzing, digesting the information which was shared with us. We need to be the kind of people we were in those few minutes in which we were watching these optical illusions. I almost said obstacle illusions again. These optical illusions. And we spotted and we thought and we were reasoning with what is actually going on here. In our lives, that's how we should be. You might meet a person on a day where that person's not having the best of days, and you draw your conclusions based on that. On people and on things. On situations which come into your life where you assume things already, and you never give yourself or that person or that situation a chance or an opportunity to prove to you what it really is. So change that. And a very, very, very common thing which I still want to go about, it's not only what people say. Excuse me, guys. Lips are really dry. It is especially when we draw our own conclusions and jump into them based on what we read or what we watch, whether on television or social media. If you type about a certain thing, you will have people saying something about a certain person, especially on a negative connotation. On the front page of magazines, of newspapers and websites, especially the gossip ones or news. The news will share to you what the news wants you and I and us to see. But the question is that truly what we're meant to see? We're living in a time and an age in which the world wants to show to us what the world wants to show to us. We are inclined to thinking in a certain way as this is the only right way and there's no other right way. This is how human beings should be. The world is creating, especially social media, the model of kind of human beings you and I need to be. And if we're not critical in how we see things, if we're not critical in how we visualize things, we will end up putting ourselves in trouble, jumping into certain conclusions which will be detrimental to our future, to our lives. Where in your life have you been the kind of person who takes in, I repeat, even what we share here, you guys have the right to question. You have the right, because I'm human, therefore I'm bound to make mistakes. I'm bound to share an information which might not be as accurate as it should be. So I want you to think about it. Have you taken information and just swallowed that information the way people have thrown it at you, or have you stopped and analyzed it? Elton, thank you so much. This is the one. Elton, I'm going to put the one of Tabang as well, because Tabang went straight here. It's James 1:19. My apologies. It's not Peter. James said, "Let every person be quick to hear and slow to speak." It's not only on a literal sense, not only in the sense where I'm listening, literally as well, but most especially in conclusions and actions. I'm listening, I'm thinking. I'm listening, I'm being attentive, I'm analyzing, just as we did with these obstacle illusions. You were, in other words, listening at that moment. Slow to speak. Don't jump into conclusions. Don't spread news of things in which you weren't aware of. Somebody says something to you and you share it as a fact, although you weren't there. If you weren't there, if I wasn't there, then we don't have the right to talk about something which we don't know. Until there's proof, there needs to be some sort of concrete proof of that. And still, we got to be a bit doubtful about certain things. I mean it. On the news, they will show to you a person, oh, so-and-so did this, did that. A person is innocent until proven guilty. Were you there to see it? Were you there to see that that guy pulled that trigger? How many times in our lives have we made bad decisions because we did not analyze, we did not think, we did not consider what was there in front of us? I want you to think about this. It's something so important. Stop despising the power of your mind, which leads you and us to think. Because from here comes the good decisions. And the less we use of this, the less of good decisions we take. We end up taking bad decisions. So I want you to think about it. I have spoken a lot. We're going to go for a quick break. And you guys are going to hear more and more and more of the promo, but I won't play it now. Just a short break. When we come back, we're going to have Lebohang and Oratile back here, as we promised you guys last week that they would be here. And when we wrap this up, I want you guys to think about it. Have you been speaking too fast and listening very slowly when you do listen, or has it been the other way around? Have you been putting this to work, or have you just been drawing your own conclusions your own way and allowing people and things to easily influence your mind and your thoughts? Think about it. We are going to be right back.
We'll be back in a flash with more laughter, listens, and surprises. Stay tuned, stay groovy. It's 5 o'clock.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Just reminding you on the 24th of February, the biggest event so far in 2024 commences. We are setting the bar higher than ever because we look at our watch and we realized it's time to take off. Anyways, moving on. I really, really want to read your guys' comments. I'm not going to be able to read it now. I really want to. I see a lot of interesting comments here, but I won't be able to read them right now. Our time is very limited. I wanted to be done before 8, but when the topic calls for something bigger, wat kan ons doen? I've got Lebohang and Oratile here. I think they are facing what we South Africans know very well, the famous load shedding. I hope you guys can hear me. Are you guys, can you hear me? I think you can.
Yes,
we can.
How are you guys doing?
We are good. We are good,
Good.
PJ. Like you said, we're just facing load shedding, and it doesn't help that we have a motion sensor, so we have to go like as soon as it goes off. Yeah.
All
Otherwise, we're
right.
fine. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Good to have you guys back. The Vibe O'Clock fam said that you guys ran away last week. Like they said Lebohang was running. I don't remember what was the question I asked, but they said that you were running. I don't remember what was the question, but as you guys see today, let me move my window out here. We see I had asked them to bring the bundle of joy, their bundle of joy there. Ah, look at her. She's all famous and stuff today. What is her name?
Renee,
Renee. And what is, how old is she?
she is 1 year, 6 months.
1 year, 6 months. Okay. Who do you think she looks more? Like you or like Lebohang?
I want to say like me. But a lot of people look like me.
From, wait, I'm going to, sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was saying she's definitely chatty, so that's more on me, on my side.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take a few steps back before we get to the phase in which, her name again?
Renee,
Renelwe. I don't know why it was Kinelwe or Renelwe. So I'm like, okay, let's ask. So before we bring the part where Renelwe walks into your lives, what was the biggest challenge you guys had towards your relationship? And those of you who say, PJ, we don't know how they met, well, you guys are going to have to rewind and watch last week's Vibe O'Clock and catch it, because we're not going to go through that all over again. The part where he was fixing his brother-in-law's laptop to go and see her, all of that part, we're not going to go through it again. The Vibe O'Clockians have already taken notes for that. We want to take it from the part where the obstacles which you guys faced before making it to the altar.
Okay, so before making it to the altar, I think one of the challenges was what was the challenge? So I can say one of the challenge was financially. We had to fight for financial lives because it wasn't easy. I think at that time I was not yet working a proper job. In order for me to be able to get married, us as South Africans, you have to pay the lobola and all that. So, but we then eventually had to talk among ourselves, and also then she had to speak to her family first to understand where we were in terms of the lobola. And then I think that was one of the first things, because I had to go and tell my parents, and my parents were like, if you don't have money for the lobola and all that. So became it was like an obstacles, but we managed to overcome because we had to speak about it and to go to our families and to tell them that at this stage we don't have the lobola, but we're not saying we're not paid, but later on we'll do it.
I think it's so important, something Lebohang is mentioning, especially to the guys, that many really they are reluctant to take that step because of that fear of the lobola. And that is such a manly character where you actually had to be a man and go and face and say, guys, right now I can't do it. Like, I'm willing to, but right now I can't do it. And also looking at the importance, I mean, once you've reached that phase, especially when it's Christian dating, you reach a certain phase where it's like, guys, it's enough with the dating. It's time for us to get married. It's time. You know, God has blessed us. So why are you delaying your own blessing? Not in the sense now that you're going to just disrespect also each other's families, because family is something God has given to us. So both work hand in hand. And this is so important. And I was getting this this advice was being shared not too long ago from one of our pastors, specifically about how important that is, and actually being a man and, you know, saying, listen, at the moment I can't deal with it, I can't do it right now. Obviously you're going to be focusing on what's going to happen once we're married. I mean, you got to have a roof above your head, you got to put food on the table for two stomachs, and it's no longer one. This is so important. I like the way you put it. So, gents, those of you who want to get married and the lobola vibes are an issue, give Lebohang a call. Go visit him one of these days in Merafi. He'll sit you down and he will chat with you about putting your chest up, gaining that courage and going and facing the family respectfully regarding something which is so important in our local families. So that's very interesting, and I like the move. I like it. How did the family though receive it?
Okay, so I had to speak to my family, and thankfully they went to. It wasn't too bad. Well, all of them are in the church, so it was a little bit easier. It was
Sure.
an easier pill to swallow because, you know, the biggest thing that I believe they were concerned about, or that made them to not want to hustle us too much about it, was because they understood that we were putting God first. You know?
Great.
It wouldn't have helped us to be waiting for years to gather money for lobola, because at the end of the day, you find that you might end up not even getting married. You know, you don't want to find yourself in that situation. So we wanted to sort of put our priorities first, and eventually we did. When we were financially stable, we then went back and, you know, did whatever we had to do. But it was important back then to focus on what was important at the time, which was us getting married. So they didn't, it wasn't much of a hassle.
That's great. That's great. I like also the important, as remember, he said he was going to sort it out. So he went back. He did not say, now we're married. Ish, I forgot. Stick to your word, gents. Stick to your word. Go back and fix that. You know, show that respect, guys. Respect is such a powerful, such a meaningful thing. Now, talk to us. That was over. You overcame that. You got it. You went to the altar. Share with us, how was that day, Lebohang, when, finally I'm here. She's walking down the aisle. Was it in Merafi?
Yes.
Okay, so she's walking down the aisle there in the church of Merafi. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so for me, it was, I was very happy. Like she mentioned, first, I think I forgot probably to mention also from my side, it wasn't that easy from my side, for my parents to agree. But eventually, because I had to sit my mother down and speak to her and be like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm not saying I'm not respecting you or Uratile's family, but there at the beginning it was a bit of a, it was not that easy, but eventually she then eventually agreed to it, and I think on that day it was a blessing. I was so excited, and seeing the day coming to place and it happening for me, it was really, I was really feeling that now, God is honoring our prayers, because we had to pray. We had to a lot of papers. It's not only about saying you want to get married, because along the way you face challenges, you face things that seems like it's not going to happen. But if you set your mind and you believe that it's going to happen, and eventually it happened.
Keletso is asking, is she the first CBC representative in the Bible Clock? Keletso, as you can see, she's wearing a YPG t-shirt. They are both YPG coordinators. And no, she did not take a CBC child home. That's her child. That's their child. That's their baby. So just to answer your question, that's their baby. And, you know, we asked them to be here. Keletso, you probably missed last week's Bible Clock. When we wrap up here, go back and watch last week's one and you will get the whole story. But there you go. You've got it there. Then, time goes by. Renelwe comes into the equation. What changed? What changed for the two of you?
So, the one thing, just a bit of a, if we go back just before we got married, the one thing that we definitely agreed on was that we were not going to have kids until we are at least.
Something broke, sorry.
So we were not going to get married until we were at least 5 years. We were not going to have a child, pardon me,
Okay.
until we were at least 5 years married. And this was because we just, being a newlywed, having a child sort of complicates things because that's the time where we should be getting to know each other. So we did stick to that plan. And for the first 5 years of our marriage, it was just us. It was just us, that dating phase where we getting to know each other. So by the time we had a child, we had a bit of a stronger bond than we did initially. So we had overcome the little differences where you kind of don't understand each other and, we do things so differently and we're not in sync because we come from different backgrounds and that sort of thing. So it was very much, it was a little bit easier. It is challenging, of course, because we are first-time parents and, we learn as we go.
Yeah.
But it definitely helped that we gave ourselves that nice little gap in between where we could know each other and plan for when we do actually have.
You said, you stole the word out of my mouth when I was, what I was going to say based on what you were saying. Plan, guys, planning. That is especially when you're going to bring the bundle of joy. Because it's interesting how people call it a bundle of joy, but sometimes the child won't bring joy into their own lives. What's supposed to be joyful isn't as joyful, both for their lives and even for the life of that child. Because she's a baby now, she's all cute and so forth. For the parents, she'll forever be cute, but she's going to grow up and she's going to start doing things that aren't as cute as they are right now. And when I say aren't as cute, I mean she's going to start making and taking her own decisions. And so the planning begins in understanding that, do we have what it takes for this now? Because a lot of people have this perception of, I want to have kids, I want to have kids, I want to have kids. And that's, totally on each one of you. Given the important factor that there is planning, why is the world upside down when it comes to being parents? Why are there so many guys growing up without a father figure? Because there was no planning. There were a lot of actions, but there was no planning. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted them to bring the baby, is to show to you guys that, look what we learn in the YPG. I want to show to you guys that this is the plan that we have in the YPG. There are some who choose to serve God on the altar. There are some who become pastors, others become pastors' wives. Others, they are people who are pillars to the work in the church and in the YPG, like Oratile and Lebohang, who have built a family. This is a family, guys. Family is not just, we decided last minute. No, a family is what you guys are seeing here. This is why, as we spoke about, the assumption, this here is making you guys to think. And that's why I want them to speak, and all the other couples who have been here, asking them to speak so that you understand. Listen, guys, they have the right to speak. They are not struggling or suffering anymore in that financial aspect because they overcame it. They overcame it together. They did it the right way. They followed the advice which was given to them. So listen, be fast to listen and slow to speak. In this case, be fast to think and slow to act. Slow as in don't take actions without ahead of thinking. Let it be slower than thinking. I wanted to share this to you all. Now I will have a question for the two of you. My question is, what is your advice? I'm sure that there are some of our youth who are watching us right now. What is your advice to them to reaching, this beautiful family which you guys have begun? I don't know. It's not in my place to ask if you guys plan on having other bundles or if she's the only bundle you plan on having. But what is your advice thus far in getting to where you guys are? What is your advice? What would you say, Lebohang, to the guys? What would you say, Oratile, to the ladies?
Okay, so I'll start. So with the gents or the guys, I would advise them that as guys, as men, people go after the looks, which is a problem. Because if you go for the looks and you don't look at the character of the person, because when you get involved with someone, it's not about that moment. It's a lifetime thing. Because after you're going to be committed to get married to that person, and if you are going after the looks and not the character of the person, are you willing to spend the rest of your life with that character of the person? That's a question you need to ask yourself first before doing anything.
Definitely. Well said. Oratile?
So on my side, I think the one thing that I realized eventually in my marriage was that my relationship with God meant a lot. It was exactly how I would treat my husband. So exactly the kind of relationship that I would have with God, the communion that I had, because I would notice even in my spiritual life, the moment it dropped, my sort of responsibility or my responsibility towards my husband would also be, somehow dropped, because then the spiritual life goes with your love life. So the one thing I can say to the ladies out there is that the more you invest in your communion with God, the better you will be at having a relationship. So first comes God, then you can, love the other person, because you cannot claim to be able to love someone else if you don't have that love relationship with God first, and with yourself as well. Because then you struggle with things like insecurities and that sort of thing, and it affects your marriage, because the small things that happen, you'll be that nagging wife that will always be at your husband's ear because of some small things, but it is just because you didn't overcome the insecurities that you have within you. But all of that is just something that you built prior marriage. So I found that out later on in my marriage, because when I got married, I was very young, and I could say that I was a little bit immature. I hadn't grown at that time as I am now. So some of the things, when I look back, I'm like, okay, I could have done that better. I could have said that better. I shouldn't have said that. That sort of thing. And you learn as you go. So the important thing first would be your relationship with God, and thereafter your relationship with your partner.
This is profound. I hope you guys are all taking notes. I'm not going to be able to extend it much longer because of time, guys. Somebody says that we must petition for the Bible clock to be 2 to 3 hours. Oh, guys, you don't understand the logistics around just building this little program here. But who knows in future? Who knows? I'm not saying it won't happen. Just hang on. Let's wait. Let's see. Let's be patient. What is the challenge that you guys have had so far as parents?
Lack of sleep.
I see that she is in that stage where she cannot sit still. She reminds me of me, that I can't sit still.
Yeah, no. Definitely. So challenges is for me. It would be just how to how to raise her, because you always think about like the logistics around it in terms of like, okay, feeding and
Yeah.
dressing them up and all of that,
Yes.
but
Yes.
you also want to think of how you are going to, or how you want to raise your child, what you want to teach them, how, at what point do you start teaching them all of those values, all of those beliefs that
Yes.
you have. And you definitely know that along the way, they will start making their choices, as you earlier alluded to that. So you kind of have to come to terms with that to say at one point they'll make their own choices, and you need to then be there for them as much as you can. But again, that also takes you back to the sort of relationship you have with God. That's where you ask God to say, God, help me out with this. We're
Yes.
struggling with this. But
This is so profound, and as Ratil is saying, it's so important because the values which you're going to pass to your child is not something which I think they might have disconnected here, guys. I don't know if it's on their side or on my side, but either way, we'll carry on. At least we were about to conclude. It is so important because the values that you pass to your child is not just something which money can buy. Many people think as long as I have money to provide for my kids, that's good enough. And no, it's not good enough. What is good enough begins with them having a father and a mother. You need to understand that Renelu is going to grow up looking at Lebohang. And one day when it's her turn to look for a husband, that husband needs to be at least as amazing as he is as a husband and as a father. And likewise, she's going to look at Ratile, her mother, and understand that's the kind of wife she needs to be, and that's the kind of mother she needs to be. Okay, I think they disconnected here. Let me just get myself back here in place. So I want you guys to understand that, people. Look how amazing. This makes me so happy. Look at how far, how long-term the work of the YPG is. It comes with patience. It comes with dedication. It comes with hard work. They did not go to sleep one day and just wake up and say, hey, let's try this out. It was not an attempt. If you heard Oratile repeatedly said, God being ahead of things. So I want you to understand, this is the format. This is how families are built. Guys, excuse me for talking so much today, but this is how families are built. Like I said, Renelle was going to grow up. She's going to look at Lebohang, and that's the kind of model of a man she wants. As long as Lebohang treats Oratile right, which we believe he does, treats her as the queen that he must see her as, and as long as she treats him as the king she must see him as, that's the inspiration she's going to get. That's the model. So when she looks at a guy who does something which Lebohang is not the kind of guy to do that, she's going to look at that and be like, oh no, that's not okay. That's not okay. A guy who treats another woman or treats his mother disrespectfully, Renelo is going to look and say, that is not the kind of guy I'm going to marry, because my dad treated my mom with respect. My dad treated me with respect. So we need to get that right. I think they are back here. I've got them back here just for them to wrap up and say goodbye to us all. Okay, you guys are back here. So understand this, guys. This advice is not taken as something which, hey, it's just an idea that they came up with. It was planning. Somebody was advising them along the way. There were advice which I believe they didn't want to take at that moment, especially when the advice says wait for the right time, be patient, and then you have to be patient and wait. Those kinds of advice we don't want to take. But today that's where they are, and I believe God giving them based on what Oratile said, based on what Lebohang said. They want to raise the daughter to become someone in the right way, because we can only give what we have. If Lebohang is toxic, if Oratile is toxic, that's what they're going to naturally give to Renele, guys. That's just it. And as much as parents try to deceive us, our parents tried to deceive us with certain things, we know their traits. There was even this is a happy family. They are not billionaires, trillionaires, but they're getting there. They're building it together. God is blessing them because God is being made the first in their lives. Usually I don't preach much here in the Bible Clock, but there's no way to, there's no way, I'm sure you guys agree with me, there's no way for me to mention this without mentioning God. There was no way for Ratile to speak about Lebohang, for Lebohang to speak about Ratile and their union without including God. He is the one who formed this. All we need to do is to listen. All we need to do is to listen. Guys, I have spoken so much today. I need to drink water. Any final words before we wrap up? And any shout outs to the Merafi fam who have made it to be hot in here? Yeah, you guys can go ahead.
Okay, so final words. Sorry, I'm just a little distracted. So our final words is just as you said, like we need to like everything.
Whoops, I think they had a little bit of a glitch just at the end, guys. Just at the end there. Just at the end. As soon as they reconnect again, we will put them back here. We were supposed to have Lebu. Lebu is going to kill me because I think this is the second or third week. Well, last week I think she couldn't join. But today now it's on me. It's more than 8:15. We need to wrap up. We need to finalize. I'm loving to be here with you guys. Indeed, we need to petition for the Bible Clock to be a little bit longer. Like I said, the only problem here is the logistics of getting everything sorted. So Lebu, please forgive me. Please forgive me. But I do hope that we all learn to listen today. Not forgetting that on the 24th of February, we are going to be having the Mega Help event. This is going to be a powerful and an amazing event. We're going to be having lots of things. We're going to have, I was with the team today at the grounds, and we are going to have a sports section. We are going to be having a career guidance. Some colleges are going to be joining us and sharing career guidance. So we're going to have quite a few seasonal experts. We're going to be having prizes, givings, a lot of things. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. So I hope you guys don't miss out on being with us. Not only will it take place here in Joburg, ours is going to be at Diepkloof, Zone 6 in Soweto, but also at every provincial YPG branch. Find out, DM us, or find out from your respective coordinators. There'll be a moment where we're all going to connect and we're going to be sharing with you guys the message, all right? I hope you guys also remember that we're going to be having our mega dance. So we're inviting the schools. Here in Gauteng, we're going to be having 24 schools. So I hope your moves are ready, all right? Guys, that's it from my side. I will be wrapping up. I hope to see you guys soon. We are also going to be having, by the way, talking about the Mega Help, we're going to be commencing the challenge of the war cries amongst the schools. So in the course of the week, you're going to be seeing a couple of posts from the different schools posting their war cries. Ooh, it's going to be hot. So next week, Sunday, so Saturday, as usual, 5 o'clock, that doesn't change. But next week, Sunday, we're going to be having the challenge of the schools war cry edition. And the winners will be announced on the 24th of February 2024, or as we call it, 24 to 24. All right, guys, it's been great to be here with you. I think I have spoken too much today. It's been an hour and 20 minutes, but it's totally worth it. Also reminding you, if you want to chat to us, DM us, talk to us. Alternatively, in the morrows, we'll be at the YPG. I will be joining the Togoza fam. Apparently, they are going to take off. Apparently, the Togoza fam are going to set things on fire. They are going to light it up. Are they going to? Well, you guys we're going to know when I'm back here. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll meet them there. Uncle Vinny will be at 24456 Imink Drive in Soweto at the grounds, as we call it. Pastor Carlos is going to be in Park Station, 25 Plain Street. But also at every YPG branch, we're going to be talking about the same thing, same vision, same vibes. I didn't even share with them yet the vibes of tomorrow, but I will share with them shortly. All right, please take care of yourselves. And don't forget, when they ask you what time it is, you tell them it's time to take off. See you guys soon. Chat to us, DM us, talk to us. We're here, we're together with you guys. 240224.
In 2023, Made for More rocked the house with success. But in 2024, get ready for something even bigger and better. Brace yourselves for the Mega Help Event 2024, where the energy is cranked up with a mega dance-off, thunderous war cries, fierce competitions involving over 24 schools, and an art gallery showcasing the immense talent of visual artists. Dive into a world of possibilities with career guidance from seasoned experts and college professionals. Need a buddy to chat about life's highs and lows? Our volunteers are ready to support and guide you in the Vent Corner. Now mark your calendars for the 24th of February at 10 a.m. and join us at 24456 Imnik Drive, Zone 6, Deep Kloof in Soweto. Not in Josie? No sweat. Mega Help Event is making its way to you, with simultaneous events at every provincial YPG branch across Mzansi. Your entrance is absolutely damage-free. For more details, hit us up on our toll-free line or check our pages on YPG RSA. Mega Help Event 2024. It's time to take off.